Well, there's somebody in my chair. Mr. Kit Kat has been languishing here for some time, and despite coaxing, he hasn't wanted to move, and I'm afraid you have to, my boy, because I don't have another chair in here to sit in. But anyway, greetings everyone from Kit Kat and me. Well, he's going to have to find somewhere else to go. And sorry, my boy. Sorry, my boy. Yeah. Not happy with that, are we? Okay. Alright. Maybe I'll come and stay here with me. So, we're on the final stretch here today. And, I see I have no water in my jar. So, anyways, I shall have to remedy that part way through when I just need to nip out and get some water in the jar. Okie dokie then. So, we are on the final stretch now. I'm just setting this timing thing up. On the final stretch with this piece, and yes, hopefully we'll get to complete it perhaps within 45 minutes, if not an hour today. So without further prattling, I shall make some progress. There's a fan going in the background because it's humid today, and I'm a little bit afraid that my camera might overheat and whatever, so you can perhaps hear it in the background. Okay. I think, in fact, I'm going to go and fetch some water right this minute, so I'll leave Kit Kat to keep you company just for a couple of seconds while I just... Right, and we're back. Yes, don't have any helpers to go and fetch and carry besides Kit Kat and Sage and Finn. So be that as it may. Right, I'm going to start this today with my actually no, just before that I meant to just bring in a little bit of white in here. I just want to, you'll see later, I was looking at the some of the screenshots that I've taken that I usually sometimes post with kitties, etc. on social media. After my session, I just take a couple of screenshots from the session itself, and looking at those, number one, the colors appeared very vivid, much more vivid than they are in reality. So just bear that in mind as you watch. Second of all, okay, so Kit Kat's decided to cough up a hairball while we're busy recording. Second of all, I realized that something was being asked for in the do you mind? Alright, well, just forgive the... Are you done? No, not done yet. Okie dokie. Was that there's this, and it's a shush now. Goodness me, Kit Kat. You have to choose this moment to start having hairballs. It's an optical illusion, pretty much, that I could only see from the screenshot. I can't see it here, but now that I did see it on the screenshot, I realize what's there but isn't there, and I need to put it in. So there's the slight lightening of color off the top of the wave, just where in this point where my focal area is, where the spray starts to lift off in that direction, fading as we go further down. But here's where it's most sort of intense, and I don't have that in the original photographic reference images, and I don't have it in my sketch reference either. But here I saw it and I thought, that's what it needs, that's what it's asking for. So these messages come to us in various ways, and I thought, well, okay, it's needed, and it was something that was what just hopefully will give an edge to this piece, quite subtly so, because it's not really apparent as I work, but now it becomes a little bit more apparent, and of course you now seeing it will look very, it'll look very light because of the setup of the camera and the lighting, etc. But yes, it's just that subtle background sort of appearance that I need to, yeah, it makes quite a big difference, because it also gives this lovely sort of curve to the whole top of the piece. And of course this is just here for show for now. I'm going to work over that because there's a lot of spray coming off the top of these waves anyway, which I will put in a white, but it's just that background. I need to pull that up a little bit. In fact, what I'm also going to just try and do here is just with my soft paintbrush, no, it needs to be a flat tip. I'm just going to just soften that a bit more, so it's not quite so, because the white, when I add white over this with paint, with pastel, to create the actual spray, there we go, that's probably better. Then it will kick forward a lot more. So just setting up the basis of this, still sitting up. I mean, this is a compositional thing, so it's still, as I said, the composition starts right at the very beginning, when you set the whole structure of the artwork up, and then only comes to fruition at the very end of the piece. So there are many factors, and this is something I've come to realize en route along this journey. In fact, fairly recently. I've always been going on about how important setting up composition right at the beginning is, but I've now come to realize that the composition itself, just like the artwork, builds throughout the process. Yes, so nevertheless, here we are, and with some more enlightenment, and yet again underscoring the reason why I so enjoy these sessions is because I learn so much about myself, about my art, about creating during these processes, in fleshing them out. Okay, let me just get my white paint here, and let's just add some to a little plasticky palette thing. Put some on with a palette knife thingy. Let's just get some going there, and that will do for now. Right. Just keep the lid on these things. You never know when. Mind you, it's too hot and sweaty for the kitties to come wandering around in here today. They're busy, fast asleep. Right. Let's get some spray going, folks. To begin with, I always like to start with a bit of toothbrush spray. and then we go from there. So and trust me, there's quite a bit. So all of this sort of area here is don't want it to go too far out that way into the blue on the left, and I also don't want it to go too far down, because that I want to localize some of the spray and have a little bit more control. But here we're just setting up some nice stuff to work with. Just surface. Can always come back to this afterwards as well. Right. Now we have it over there as well. Wow, there's a lot. There is a lot. Right. That, for now, is all that I really need. Let's now take my little trusty palette knife. Let's just dip my finger and get that paint off my finger as well, so it doesn't go everywhere. Gives me right. See, now it just gives me this lovely texture. It's not flat applied paint with a paintbrush, so it's got this lovely, and it's not dry yet. Okay, that's just enough. I need more. I shall need more, but perhaps later. Right now it's just a. Let's just actually put some more in. Quite right, guy. Right. Let's not do balancing things too much. Right, let's just no, wrong one. I need a lot over here. And I'll leave that part to dry a bit. And let's just get some going down here as well. On the right, lower down. See now, this, when it dries, will give me this lovely abrasive surface to work over with pastel, and the pastel then will become even whiter. Strange thing that I've learned along the way. See, yeah, so right, let us now use my little trusty palette knife. is exceedingly warm today, humid. I really hope that this fan of mine does its job, and yeah, keeps the semblance of cool air washing over my camera, because otherwise it will drop. It will lose, and I'll lose the recording. And a little bit more paint. A wee bit more. And let's use my trusty old toothbrush. At least trusty old paintbrush. Gosh, it's really getting decrepit. So even the use of acrylic here, even though it is my primary highlight medium, it also provides a layer over which I can work as well with other colors as well as white, just to accentuate it even more. So it's building up this wonderful base texture that I can now begin to employ. And yep, just a little bit, and then I can work over that somewhat as well. Are you okay, Kit Kat? Hey? You seem now unsettled. Is it just because I've taken your chair and dethroned you for the moment? So yeah, we have this lovely sort of meaty graphic application of paint, which is also quite sort of I just call it abstract for the lack of a better term. It's just a very abstract way of indicating very loosely where these white foamy waves are, and then I can work around that as well. But it just gives me a nice, also a nice little, there's little sub focal points throughout the piece actually, and all of them contribute towards the final, as I said, the final image and composition of the piece, which is important to. That's lovely. right. As you'll notice, I'm not talking, so I really am focusing a little bit here to get this nice and a little bit delicate, but also you've got to be loose like a goose. Even working it as it starts to dry a little bit, you get some really nice, interesting even blending a little bit of the blue in there as well. So you get some really nice, unexpected surprises actually. Really nice. I enjoy the way this is coming together, and it's unintended, unexpected, and that's what letting go is about. Just seeing how it talks, how it wishes to express itself. You know, as I've been going on and on and on about during these sessions, it's allowing the artwork to come together as it wishes to. That's important. And why I love this paper so much, because it absorbs the moisture of the paint, the acrylic paint, which is water based. It absorbs the moisture, and then buckles a little bit, just comes up a tad, and then settles down when it dries perfectly. Always nice and flat and smooth once again, which is it's just wonderful. I just love it that it's such a forgiving paper. Yeah. It's such a basic paper as well. It's not none of your top line very expensive Fabrianos or specific watercolor papers or anything like that. Granted, you probably couldn't do a watercolor painting on this particular paper. It would be well oversaturated then. But yes, in between, you know, with your mixed media work, where you've got a little bit of paint, perhaps, it would take quite a lot, and you can really work it in nicely. Gives you a lot of coverage capacity. Kit Kat, what are you doing now? Are you wanting to get into the cupboard? But the cupboard is full. And you've tried this before. Yes, you have. And there's no point. Because you just open the cupboard and you just look at it, because there's nowhere to go. See? So let's get that off. Right. I think that now it's time for... Yes, Kit Kat, you can't help you, my boy. Really, I can't. There's no point. Just no point whatsoever. Yeah, I can't. So I open the cupboard and there's just a wall of stuff. So don't even hassle. A little bit more of this. So this gives me a nice uneven splatter as well, and I can just work with that afterwards. Yeah. With my palette knife once more, and just smoothing it out, stretching it out. Right. Now I can start. Perhaps, is this getting drier a little bit better? Yeah. Now I can start to work with my chalk pastel white over some of these areas and start. Not a second one, Kit Kat. You never do this. Come on now. Goodness. Okay, another hairball. Wonderful. Wonderful sounds. Hey, Kit Kat. Lovely stuff for my YouTube recording. Well, that's what happens when I can't edit this stuff out. It just, yeah. It's as it should be, I guess. It feels just quick now. God. Enough is really enough. Right, and I'm going to add a little bit more blue. And actually, no. First of all, I'm just going to bring in a bit of lilac here as well. So. You know what? I'm going to add in some vegan poo brown. Just a touch, just a couple of lines here and there. I know I said I wouldn't, but now I am, because I can. Just a little touch here and there. Smooth it out, just to give me that little subtle differentiation of color. Just a touch. It's almost mustard. Don't know why I call it vegan poo brown, but anywho. Right, we're about half an hour in to our session now, and yes, I am probably going to have to push it to an hour. Once again, you'll see colours here. A little bit of peppermint on the go here, just for the hell of it. A kaleidoscope of colour. Yes, at different levels, and it's just adding to the artistic range of the artwork. Let's bring in a little bit more of the white. Watered down quite a lot. I want it too opaque. And a little work with my Conte crayon here. Just doodling, really doodling, just wherever I see the need. Doodling, smudging, blending, etc. I see Kit Kat is now settled, finally, at my feet once again. So, yes, he can hear me. He knows I'm talking about him because he starts purring like a tractor again. Don't you, Kit Kat boy? So now that this acrylic work that I was doing when I started it has dried, because I smoothed it out, scraped it across with my palette knife, and now it's dried. So now I can start to bring in some of my lilac and pale blue for just a little bit of differentiation in tone. Tonal value, not only color but tonal value as well as contrast, because it's very subtle. Where's the blue? It's very subtle. So if you look at it, and again, once again, it's about the language of the piece, the artistic license. Because if you look at a foamy coming rolling in towards the beach, it's white. It is very white, and sometimes, startlingly so. Especially if it's a very sunny day, full sun, etc. Then it's very white, and that's all you see. But if you really look at it, close up, if you were given that opportunity, if you just paused what you were looking at, you would see a vast spectrum of color in everything. So I need to create now this almost an underlayer of a slight underlay, yeah, that is that is going to be rest beneath my white pastel work. Let's now work a little bit up the top here. Once again, this part is dried. Let's work with, actually, I need a new pastel. I need a new, where's that one? Where are you? There you are. I need to just take the wrappers off this one. So this is my browny white soft pastel, and it is very soft. See, I'm working in a little bit of detail up here. Just a little bit of form, not detail really, form. Because even if it's crested this way, there's still shade, there's still contrast, and as however subtle it may be, it's there. And I'm just working with that a little. Right, now I start to work with this spray that's rising off the top of the wave. Actually, let me just put some of the foam in rather to begin with. This pastel being so soft, it goes down really quickly. Yes. All the way through. Just the offshore wind is just ripping the top off the foam as it starts to crest and starts to curl before it, and then leaves a long misty trail behind, feathering out as it goes. In fact, I'm just even going to and just starting to now work in some of the perceived detail. And as I promised, eraser. Work to be done here with the eraser. And of course, in conjunction with my Conte, change the setting on my clock just so it gives me a full hour instead of 45 minutes, just to keep an eye on. Now I'm doodling once again, just and a little bit of darker. What do we have here? Darker blue. Let's go for the indigo more, I think. Where is it? There it is. Just a little bit of indigo here and there against this upper edge, the upper reaches of this. And then some dark, where are you? There you are. Dark olive green. Even there are even a very, very, very light brushing of compressed charcoal that I will then blend in with the green just to make it that much darker and just give it that much more contrast. Not too much, not too much. A little bit more over here. Right, and then I blend it. So that it's not black, black, black. Just deepens and enriches that that depth of color. So you've got this wonderful, and then going over it with my pastel once again just gives it that dimensionality as well. That's looking good. Right, and now back to our little bit of pastel work. Oh, eraser, yeah. Just twisting and turning it as I work this as a blending tool. lovely. Right up against the top here, under the lip of the wave. Even carrying some of the color that's on the eraser, and pulling it up into the lighter areas so that it blends so beautifully. Such a gift of a tool. Perhaps one of my most important tools in my processes. Goodness me, yeah, it's very good. Just does exactly what it wasn't intended ever to do. Which was, and it's sheer brilliance actually. It was never intended as such. A humble eraser that can work such wonders. I am quite gobsmacked at times, you know. And even the flat of the brush just to that's so nice. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy, yes. Just under, what? Just over 10 minutes now remaining, which is great, because we can just use some little subtle workings here. Just the subtleties. Yes. So it really starts to now punch. It really starts to take on its full character now. This angry expression of the wave. And every time I blend these, it gives me another surface. It dulls the whiteness, so that when I work over it again with white, it then comes up more highlighted, and so on. So slowly I just build this intensity and form. So you really have to look actually quite closely, I have to admit, to actually see what's going on here and the subtleties, because it's very, very subtle, the differentiation in tonal values and what have you. So unfortunately I can't, the video can't quite pick up on these subtleties and the little nuances of change and flecks of color and white and whatnot, and nor does the final image that I take and post on share on Facebook and Instagram, etc. By the way, if you are only viewing me on YouTube, please send me if you're on Facebook as well, send me a friend request. I'm not so important that I am a celebrity yet that I won't accept your friend request. So please do so, Guy McGowan. And the same on Instagram. Please give me a like on Instagram, follow me, whatever the case may be. I do always share a final image, usually also posing with one of my kitties, or not if they're otherwise disposed, and it's nice to engage there as well. So yeah, take the opportunity then to welcome any new viewer to my channel. If you've got this far in the proceedings, well, you're doing very well, I have to say, and I commend you for that. And if you enjoy what you see and you'd like to see more, please subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you get instant notifications of any future uploads. Like, share, comment, please do, I urge you to. And I always welcome comment. I love to engage with you on whatever you might be thinking, or however this, maybe the artwork or makes you feel, or however whatever I comment about, or if you've got something to add, please do. I always welcome it. Yeah, and do invite your mates to come and follow me as well, if you're into these sessions. No pressure, but it's always welcome. I do have to grow my channel, I guess, to a point. So we're into the last 4-5 minutes, and I am happy to say that we are very, very close to completion now. I'm very, very pleased with how this is turning out, actually. Very different from what I set out with. Pleasingly so, as always surprises me how these pieces can just express themselves so beautifully. And it's not just me. It's about me letting go and not having this steely control over the outcome. It just becomes so much looser, so much more expressive. All these little subtleties all talking. The story. Marvelous. Oof, your chalk dust. Yes, so there's also room now for in doodling to just add in these little elements of expression here and there. We've got our focal point that's really working nicely. The wonderful direction and energy to the piece, but there's always these lovely little subtexts that we can introduce. So once again, just variegating the texture here a little bit with my Conte, which is slightly harder and it just gives another dimension. Lovely. Right, folks, I think where I am almost there. Just a little bit more here, a little. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, I'm really stoked. This has come together so nicely. Little expression down here of something, little shift in the water surface and a little spring and spray of something going on. So yeah, very stoked with it. Okay, I'm going to be into overtime. Ooh, yeah. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Folky wokies. And I'm now going to sign off. What colour should I use to sign off? I'm going to use... Goodness me. I'm going to use my lilac, I think. Yes, I shall use a lilac. So it's not quite so, I don't want it to be black. Just kill it. Right, so go. Yep. 23. And there we are, folks, done and dusted. just topping the hour. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the process so far. I know I have. So if you'd like to see more, please tune in again next week and or to the next series, whenever that may be. So yes. Yeah, without further ado, I wish you oodles and doodles of toodles, and hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. If it is the Friday when you're watching it, which is today, which is when I'm recording the session. So yeah, do take care, and until I see you again, be good, be kind, be gentle, be caring, be loving, etc., etc. And have a fantastic day further. Take it easy, folks. See you again next time. Bye. And don't forget to doodle.